Growing up in rural Georgia, all I heard about was Park Avenue as being the fancy place to live in New York City. Now I have my dream home right on Park.
I'm Sara Gore and welcome to Open House NYC. We've got a show filled with design delight today, including stops on the West Side, Chelsea, LA, and the BK. But we are starting things off on the Upper East Side with interior designer Wesley Moon. Wesley shows how he turned his Park Avenue apartment into his dream home, and it's filled with lavish decor, regal luxury, and unexpected whimsy. Take a look.
Hi, I'm interior designer Wesley Moon, and welcome to my Park Avenue apartment. This apartment is very much me. This is inspired by my travels, by history, which is something I love. So it definitely is this culmination of styles that I think makes it completely contemporary. I even joke oftentimes that this place was inspired by the Vatican. So why don't we take a look around? This is where I do most of my entertaining. The walls in this room are gilded, of course. It just gives that beautiful glow to everyone that's in here. But I wanted to also create visual interest. So I used these strips of oak to create panels, and then I used 3 different patterns of the same wallpaper to give this effect that you see here. I always joke that the apartment was inspired by the Vatican, but it's only partly a joke. If you look, my door casings are all in pink onyx. But I've mixed that with other types of marble and stones throughout the apartment. As long as the scales are complementary and the colors are complementary, why can't you mix them? The corner of the room is anchored by a vintage Vladimir Kagan sofa. I love the lucite legs, I love the light underneath. It gives it this levity even though it anchors the corner. So this chair over here is a vintage chair that I had recovered in this leopard print as an homage to my mother. She loves her leopard and I had to put a little in for her. I designed this mantle in collaboration with a ceramics artist that's a friend of mine. And we kind of made this, is it Art Deco? Is it more French Belle Epoque? It sort of walks that line. And of course it's in a really fun shade of teal, so gotta love that. And above the fireplace indicates a little bit of my obsession with history and the British royal family. This is a custom-made piece by Michael Mapes, and it is Queen Elizabeth I, but again, it's a contemporary interpretation of a Dutch master painting. This is the dining room. The original walls were angled, but I curved them out to create this panoramic effect. I worked with De Gournay wallpaper to make this mural, totally custom, of Sicily. The background of the mural is gold leaf, and the painting on top is flat. So at night, you get this 3-dimensional effect that makes it feel like it goes on forever. The centerpiece of this room is this gilded ceramic chandelier, and I think it's super cool because it's both electric light and candle, so you can dine by candlelight. This is a vintage table from the 1960s, which I found in Italy. It's the perfect oval shape to go in my oval dining room. Believe it or not, this table can seat up to 12 people for dinner. 14 if you're good friends. This view down Park Avenue is everything. It's one of the reasons I bought the apartment, and it's the reason that I opened up this doorway so everyone can enjoy a view of the Chrysler Building. So this is my library. This is where I hang out to read my books, but I also have the one TV in this room too. It's cozy and I'm surrounded by all the things that I love, including Dolly Parton. Dolly always says that her look is a country girl's idea of glamour. I'm from rural Georgia, so as a country boy, I feel like this apartment is the epitome of glamour and sophistication. I love this vintage chair, which I had completely refurbished and recovered. On the ceiling, I had this custom mural done in a starburst pattern, which radiates out from the light fixture. It really is my own take on the many historic libraries I've seen in the great houses of England. So now we're in my bedroom. I wanted this room to feel cozy and intimate. Behind the headboard, I created this special niche. The focal point is this antique tapestry remnant, but but in order to make it more modern, I had an artist come in and put these gold squiggles on it, just to give it a little bit of oomph. Over here, I brought in this Fornasetti cabinet. I just love that it's this historical reference on a contemporary piece. I designed these nightstands to fit perfectly within the niche. I made these glass fronts on them, which also double as handles. I went with vintage Italian again for this mirror, and I placed it over this Fortuny fabric, which again is a juxtaposition of two different eras. I'm sure you're noticing a pattern here. When I was a kid growing up in rural Georgia, all I heard about was Park Avenue as being the fancy place to live in New York City. It took me 20 years to get here. Now I have my dream home right on Park. Thank you so much for visiting.
If you loved that, you just wait and see what we've got coming up next.
Welcome to our home in Red Hook, Brooklyn.
We're both architects, and we collaborated together on this house.
Welcome back. New York is a city that is constantly reimagining itself, and our next stop in Red Hook, Brooklyn is a perfect example. Architectural designer Ben Krone and exhibition designer Jaime Krone took a classic townhouse and completely renovated it. And you definitely need to take note of that sound system. Listen and enjoy.
I'm Ben Krone, principal of Gradient Architecture.
My name is Jaime Krone, Director of Exhibition Design at the Guggenheim Museum. This is our dog, Senna. Welcome to our home in Red Hook, Brooklyn.
This is a complete gut renovation, and we did a two-story addition in the back of the house.
This is our family home we share with our two young boys, and we can't wait to show you inside.
We're both architects, and we collaborated together on this house.
When you come in, you enter into the main floor, which has the dining room, a living space, and the kitchen. Our dining table really serves as a main gathering space for the home. It's a place we come together for Thanksgiving, but also to do homework.
And since I can never leave anything the way it is, I had to design and build the top of the table. And since this is a place for our family, I wanted to bring some sentimental objects from my past. I brought my father's horn phonograph, which I played with a lot as a kid, and this led to a lot of other obsessions in my life. I configured our living room as a listening space around my audio system. The speakers are designed and made by a friend who has a company called Ojas. The speaker horns are multi-directional, which helps to sort of fill the entire room with music. This living space is used as a listening area and for nothing else.
Whereas the kitchen is used for everything. The kitchen represents the addition, and so we took that opportunity to design it in a little bit of a different way. We raised the ceilings and we added windows along the whole rear wall of the house. We can sit here in the morning and enjoy coffee. There's birds outside. It's a really pleasant experience.
In here, we have white oak cabinets, a solid white oak countertop, and both of these connect to the character white oak floors which run throughout the entire house. We wanted the space to be as light and as open as possible.
And also create a gathering space and a strong connection to outside. As opposed to the open plan on the inside, out here in the yard, we really wanted to create some separate rooms. So we have a dining area that's actually a little hidden from the view out in front. We have a fire pit and other areas to enjoy time with friends and family. It really becomes a space for gathering. The dogs, the kids, everybody uses it differently all across the year. On the top floor, we have two bedrooms, ours and the kids. Similarly to the kitchen, this room occupies the addition, and so here we also chose to raise the ceilings as well as provide a lot of connections through windows to the yard.
With the stairs in the house, I had a unique opportunity to test various ideas that I've had. The steel guards are actually suspending the stair. And the stairs in this room lead us to our upper garden roof deck. As an architect, many of my projects are variations of my own home.
We're really happy with the way it turned out. By the way, it provides a lot of opportunities for us to gather with friends and family, and it's been really fun sharing it with you. Thank you for joining us. Bye.
Bye.
Coming up just after the break, we join the designers of this reimagined cottage in Los Angeles. Welcome back, everyone. Now we join husband and wife design team Josh and Naomi Gibson from the firm Gibson House. They reimagined this 1916 home in the Cypress Park section of LA into a warm and inviting abode where each room tells a story. Take a look.
We're Josh and Naomi Gibson, and we're a design firm in Los Angeles that buys, sells, and renovates homes.
Welcome to 2648 Merced Street. This is a house built in 1916 in a cottage-style tract. Inside this house, you'll find many high-end designer finishes, including very soft, natural, and organic materials, like lime wash walls by Portola Paints, honed Calcutta marble, and beautiful vintage light fixtures throughout. The first thing you'll notice when you walk into this beautiful home is the large light-filled windows and the beautiful lime wash walls. What I was drawn to when collecting this vintage coffee table is the checkerboard pattern that is cut from 2 tones of veneer wood. This couch fits perfectly as the grounding element in the space. It's the darkest tone in the room, and it's also a soft leather, so it doesn't reflect too much light. And opposite of the couch and the coffee table are 2 vintage genre chairs. The wood and accent on them perfectly complements the heaviness of the couch.
While this space is designed for a larger group, the space behind us is designed for a more intimate conversation by the fireplace.
These vintage chairs were a favorite find on Facebook Marketplace. I love the open back, and the rounded back of the chair perfectly complements the rounded curves of the coffee table.
And in addition to having this chest set right next to the fireplace, you have an incredible built-in bookshelf where you can grab a book and curl up next to the fire and read. And checkmate. I just worked up an appetite. Let's head to the kitchen.
I'm excited to tell you about the heart of the home, this gorgeous kitchen. I wanted it to feel like a Tuscan Eden kitchen. The range hood is designed to be massive and frame this gorgeous home and stove. The range hood is finished with a hand-troweled plaster and 180-year-old source barn wood framing the opening. By adding 180-year-old wood into the house, it has an authentic patina and a lived-in feel. To continue the rustic Tuscan look in this kitchen, we added butcher block countertops, an oversized 36-inch farmhouse sink, and beautiful sculptural lighting throughout.
To round out the marriage of function and luxury, we decided to convert part of this lovely kitchen into a full-sized walk-in pantry. And off the kitchen, we have access to our master suite. Let's go have a look.
In the primary suite, we wanted to keep it very delicate and refined. With all the natural light in here, the plants are extra happy. And when you look down, you'll find that we styled this room with a checkerboard jute rug, which plays really nicely off the cashmere plaid blanket on the bed. The overall calm and tranquil energy of this room continues into the addition of the primary suite.
Hey, Naomi. This place is great because it allows me the opportunity to collect my thoughts. I can enjoy the sunlight pouring into the room or get to work. And when I'm ready for some fresh air, you've got to check out the backyard. To finish off the tour, we can't overlook this amazing backyard. The custom-built fireplace with benches built into it, the plants and dining al fresco. There's so many opportunities and zones for you to enjoy your time with your loved ones and have fun.
Thank you for joining us on our rustic escape in Cypress Park, Los Angeles. We hope you join us next time. As always, home is where our heart is.
Coming up just after the break, how this New York designer was able to combine her client's aesthetic into this Upper West Side gem. Welcome back. A designer is always faced with translating their clients' desires into a home that surprises, but still feels personal. Rozit Arditi did that and more in this classic Upper West Side apartment. Take a look.
What I love about design is how it can change people's lives for the better. I'm Rozit Arditi, and welcome to my project on the Upper West Side. This is a pre-war building, and a lot of the original details were maintained in this apartment. I wanted to keep these details, but I also wanted to create a home with a mix of mid-century modern and contemporary pieces so that it becomes a cohesive retreat. And I can't wait to show it to you. I wanted the entry hall to be welcoming, but also make a statement. So to do this, I wanted to bring in natural materials like hardwood and hand-woven jute. So I selected this runner from Armadillo and paired it with a solid wood console, which has ample storage with drawers and room for baskets. And I mimicked these materials in the mirror using iron and natural rope. I don't need everything to match, but I want materials to work together. And to give the entry a wow factor, we use this marbleized wallpaper from Harlequin. The movement from the wallpaper is mimicked in this mid-century ceramic vase, and I love mid-century ceramics. And the colorways of the vase carries throughout the house. I wanted the living room to be comfortable, functional, yet stylish. Comfort not only comes from the seating, but also the materials used in this room. So I chose this textured grass cloth from Philip Jeffries for the walls. I love the added texture it brings to a room and the color variations. I love grounding a room with area rugs. My go-to are wool and silk rugs because there's so much richness in their fibers and they're also natural materials. The mustard in the rug ties with the lounge chair, which is mid-century modern, so is this Milo Bauman sofa. And this custom millwork was all about function. It fits perfectly with the architecture of the room while providing a lot of storage options. In the dining room, we kept most of the original details, like the crown molding and the French doors. To balance off the traditional details, we brought in mid-century dining chairs and a contemporary table. And I wanted to have a little bit more fun with these mid-century chairs. So I upholstered the outside backs with a more bolder pattern, but kept the inside backs to be a neutral fabric. And the pattern on the outside back of these chairs pairs very nicely with the more graphically patterned area rug. And we made sure the dining table was extendable so that my client could host larger parties. And just like the living room, the dining room is comfortable, functional, and stylish. In the primary bedroom, I wanted to create a calm and serene environment. So I kept the color scheme to more neutrals like off-whites, ivories, and navy. I still wanted to bring in texture here, so I grounded the room with this wool area rug. And what feels better on bare feet than wool? I love a crisp white bedding because you can offset it with more texture materials like cashmere. And this throw here specifically ties in all the colors we have throughout the apartment. Because storage is so important in New York, I chose these nightstands that already has drawers. And to finish this room off, I selected this piece of art. My client needed a place to relax, and I think we achieved it. Through a careful selection of furniture pieces, mixed with natural materials, textures, and pops of color, you can really change the feel of a room. And that really changes the lives of the people who live here for the better. And this is why I do what I do. Thanks for taking a look.
Don't go anywhere. When we come back, we are at this chic Chelsea abode. Welcome back, everyone. Now we're in Chelsea with designer Benjamin Brohm. He shows off his own fabulously curated and eclectic apartment, a veritable showcase for all that he loves in life and design. Take a look and enjoy.
Hi, I'm Benjamin Brohm. I'm the Vice President and Director of Interiors at Jonathan Adler. Welcome to my small but beautifully formed apartment in Chelsea. When I first looked at this apartment, the kitchen had a peninsula island that jutted out into the middle of the space. I had this removed and used a round dining table instead. I love a round dining table as it's really conducive for entertaining. Friends and I sit around, have dinner, chat, drink. I also like it because it really makes the space in this area flow well. Next to the dining area is a tall Jonathan Adler cerused oak cabinet. This gives me some much needed storage space, but also functions as a dry bar. On top of the cabinet, I have a collection of items and art, all in the neoclassical style. The giant lucite head is a Jonathan Adler product that we developed originally for a Caesars hotel project. Here I put a light behind it to really illuminate the detail. The living room is a comfortable, chic hangout space. I can hang out here with friends, watch a movie, eat pizza, have cocktails. The living room is a bold mix of blue, green, emerald, yellow, and mixed metallics. The starting point for this room were these emerald green drapes. I love this color, I just had to have them. This room has really high ceilings, and these large nailhead screens accentuate this. They add some drama and some architecture to the space. Between these screens are a pair of antique French carnival posters that I bought when I first moved to New York over 14 years ago. They've stood guard over me ever since. The majority of the furniture in the living room is from our collections at Jonathan Adler, with the exception of this one chair, which I brought with me from the UK. It's a vintage piece by the designer William Plunkett, and I upholstered it in this bold yellow, which really pops in the sea of greens and blues. The lamps on either side of the sofa are also from Jonathan Adler. These are one of my favorite pieces. The detail on the base are sculpted feet, as if they're about to walk away. I love this element of surrealism on an otherwise very chic lamp. Thank you for joining me on this tour of my New York City apartment. I love living here. I think it's a great reflection of both my personal style and the work I do at Jonathan Adler. I hope you enjoyed it.
I can't believe the show's already over. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up, like and subscribe, because we're gonna keep giving you these amazing homes.